Charlie Flowe, World Sports Show, joined live with Washington Spirit head coach Mark Parsons calling in from D.C. I want to thank you for calling in, Mark.
Charlie, thanks for having me. Love the show and really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. You've had a pretty interesting week, I can say. I mean, it's probably, you're a pretty knowledgeable guy when it comes to football, but you've probably learned a lot in this past week.
Yeah, it's been a crash course on obviously women's professional soccer on the field and talking tactics and managing people and giving direction. That's been a huge part of my life for the last 9 years on the coaching side and many years before that on the playing side. But it's been a crash course on all the off the field stuff and I've got great support, unbelievable support from the GM and the support staff at Washington Spirit that have literally been sitting me down and giving me one-on-ones in as many areas as I can, trying to keep me up to date with things.
I guess you feel like you're back to being a schoolboy again. A lot of learning, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and that's exciting, and that's good. I mean, it's out of my comfort zone, and but the best thing is when you and you have to be if you want to move forward, you want to improve. It's the same for the players. You have to get out of your comfort zone, but what you need is great people around you and great support, and that's what we've got.
Yeah, and you had a very unfortunate result up in New Jersey this past Saturday, but the team played well, and you had a very good result against Kansas City. So the product's starting to show on the field. So there is that, a little bit of satisfaction that it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Wednesday result with regards to grabbing a point that early in such a tough opening 3 or 4 games for me and the players in a new system and in a new structure, getting a point that early was definitely a bonus. And Saturday, the result, the way after the game, we felt very disappointed. We felt like we could have got more from the game. However, reflecting going into that, if someone said to me away from home, top of the league, and you concede, towards the end of the game with 15, 20 minutes to go, and a goal that kind of come out of nothing, if they gave me that before, I wouldn't have taken the result, but I would have taken that performance because it obviously could have been a lot worse. However, the girls have definitely pulled together. They've been extremely respectful of what I've tried to implement, and everyone's got involved. And it's not just been one direction from me. It's been a collection of all the players and sharing ideas and sharing thoughts. We had a fantastic pre-game meeting, and it was a discussion. There was discussion on what our strengths and weaknesses are, and also with me and my assistant Lloyd giving some heavy and precise detail. But it's been extremely exciting and pleasing that so many players have been a part of this process on getting things moving consistently forward. And although the results were different, definitely performance wise, we've been moving forward in the 2 games, and that's great.
Yeah, like I've talked to a couple of players on both sides after post game that this is not a league that you can look at it on paper. You look at the standings, that you guys had a huge gap in the standings, but you come in and play like a good team, and the amount of buzz it was creating in the last few days. I mean, it was a lot of buzz on the internet during that game that you're able to hold first place team scoreless in the first half and just give up that one goal. He said it was just kind of created out of nothing, but you take that away, and it really, you've been on the end of a 1-goal game. So I mean, it's very unfortunate you lose the game, but like you said, you're going home. You've got the confidence. The players know that, hey, we can hang with any team in this league.
Yeah, for sure. Take nothing away from Sky Blue, obviously a fantastic club organisation and great coach that before I took the position heard a lot about, and I know they were missing some players, but they're how they've been doing since the beginning of the season. That's a strong group on and off the field, as I hear. So taking nothing away from that, I'm sure they're walking away from that game disappointed that it was as close as it was. And me sitting in the other position, I'm just encouraged by that we've matched a team. And if you remove the goal, I think that they had a real good clear-cut opportunity, which they worked really hard for. And I think in return, we've had one really clear-cut opportunity. And apart from that, it was a bit of a chess game, and there was good quality on both sides, but no real opportunities that fans want to see. But I don't want to, I know the natural feeling could be that there wasn't as much quality or it was a bit dull, but it was the opposite. I think a lot of players on both teams working extremely hard to stop and deny the other team, and and that's great. That's great to see. In regards to the level of soccer at this level, and for us, that was the game plan: try and slow them down, stop them doing what they want to do, and in return, we've got to start implementing what we're about in the central and attacking third, and that took place, and that will come, and we're moving forward in them areas.
Yeah, you told me you've been coaching for 9 years, and just to get the fans to know a little bit more about you, so we don't overbeat the last game. I know you don't want to think about a loss too much, but I guess moving forward, I know the fans are kind of curious. You said you've been coaching for 9 years. Like, how did you get involved in coaching and moving from the player transition to the coaching transition?
I was a very average player at the bottom level of professional in England. The club I was at was professional, but weren't actually in Division Three, which is the first professional league, Woking Football Club, and I spent 2 years there, and I was an average player. But since the age of 14, I've been at that age. I thought I was coaching. I was probably doing more damage than good, but I just had a love and passion for getting out and helping and talking to people and learning. And then as I was released at a young age, at the bottom of professional football, went into, and I was very fortunate to work at Chelsea Football Club. And at the very beginning, it was working with the babies and just having fun, and was there for 6 years. And that was, in a way, it was an apprenticeship, and an insight into every single component of coaching. I mean, I could have been on a playground with kids that didn't want to be there. That the one aim was just keep them there at that playground so they're not somewhere else causing trouble. Or I could be watching Jose Mourinho working in Los Angeles with his first team for 2 weeks and everything in between. So that was my education there. Managed to watch incredible coaches in the youth academy, work alongside them, and I was heavily involved in the girls' centre of excellence and the women's reserve team, and supported the first team at some capacity. So I've managed to work, and that's been critical for my development, and that's my advice to any coach. And it's the advice I'm going to use for the next 20, 30 years: is got to get around good people, get around good coaches. And I'm not talking about the coach that you see a great drill. I'm talking about the coach that will spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour after doing a session, talking, sharing, and opening their brain and letting you get inside it. I think that's something I've always wanted to surround myself with, and also willing to do the same in return when possible. But yeah, it was a fantastic 6 years at Chelsea Football Club, but came here 3 years ago. A unique and amazing small program called Culpeper Soccer took a risk on me, and they often say to me that I was the one taking the risk, but I wasn't. They took a risk on an English guy and coming over and running their small program, which has turned out to be an amazing success. And I found myself in a place again surrounded with unbelievable people, unbelievable soccer family that want the best for their community, and they really embraced the ideas and the direction, and that's set us up and that's where I'm currently hold my full-time position as long as working with Washington Spirit, and so that's been the last 9 years, pre the last 7 days.
Wow, so that's a lot to take in. I've learned a lot about you there too, and I do have to throw a few jokes in there. That how good is an average, low-tier professional footballer compared to Americans? Because I was below average in American systems, so I wonder how we compare.
I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone. I think if I grew up here, the level I played at, I probably could have snuck into Division One college and been a good player at Division One, but that would have been it. So would have just held my own at Division One.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing is like when you were said about the risk of an Englishman coming here to coach soccer, and that's like almost a kind of a little stereotype we get. Oh, he's English, you automatically know soccer.
Yeah, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And it's the same vice versa. If you said, well, he's from here and he doesn't know, or he's from here, he does know. It's interesting the amount of people. I mean, in 3 years coming across, so many people coaching the game, and unfortunately, there's the majority. It's not often about the coaching and that part. But however, you don't invest time there. You find the people, and you find the Americans, you find your English or wherever they're from. You find your people that are in it for the same reasons as you. They are in it for developing people and developing players and improving this game. And often then people are the ones that sacrifice a lot of personal things and family time to do that. There's so many great people in this country, and there's so many people in regards to US soccer. And we're very fortunate here with Virginia, where I live in Virginia, and Virginia Youth Soccer. The guys there, Gordon Miller, Paul Shaw, incredible coach educators, and they've been a major factor for our program, Culpeper Soccer, progressing the way they have. I've landed here. I know the game, but I don't know anything about youth soccer in America, and them too. And they offer that support to every club. They're incredible people. So there are just great people everywhere. You just got to find them, and when you find them, grab hold of them and pull as much as you can from them. And the great ones are often the ones that want to share.